Good evening and welcome to Day 5, Session 10, the last session of our 2025 Apollo Project New Zealand Swimming Champs here in Auckland. My name is Stephen Kent. We're here with Matt Hutchings as we go through tonight's finals, the last one of the week. Matt, a great morning this morning, led off by the 200 IM for the females.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the last night of the meet's always a fun one. You've got half the team sitting around supporting, getting in amongst the energy, and then you've got those ones that are still ready to swim. And that 200 IM, I think, led by Georgina McCarthy. She's had a great week. She took out the 400 IM. We'll look to see what kind of time she can put down tonight. Yeah, she'll be up against Olika Pratt-Smith, who'll be hunting for that gold medal as well. We then moved on to the 200 IM female multi-class. Gabriella Smith, a world para-qualification standard this morning. Yeah, she adds another one to her list. We've talked to her a couple times this week. She's really happy with how she's been swimming, using a lot of these swims here to test out her fitness, see where she's at. So the 200 IM will be another good test for that.
Yeah, then on to that 200 IM male. Ryan Peck was the fastest qualifier this morning, and I'm sure there'll be a few boys fighting for that gold medal as well. Into the 200 IM for the multi-class, Asher Smith-Franklin, really targeting this time, I believe, for the World Para Qualification standard, so I'm looking forward to that race.
Yeah, and we've seen him go really close in a couple of those butterfly races, so he's going to be out fast tonight in that 200 IM, really loading up that 50 butterfly at the start, and really excited. He's been swimming well all week. He seems to be in really good shape. He's mentioned how he's been working on those skills, and we'll see how that comes together.
Yeah, that's right. Then we head to the 50 backstroke for the women this morning. 4 coast females take the lead. We had Amber George under the 28-second mark, under the world qualification time. Savannah Eve Martin in second place, also under that A standard. Laura Quilter hunting them down on the outskirts there, and Milan Glitmeyer under the world junior time as well. So a great female 50 backstroke.
Yeah, really class field right across those top 4, as you say. It says a lot to obviously what Coast has been doing in that 50 backstroke field. But I think it's going to be another chance for a very exciting race. We saw it in the 50 butterfly. 3 swimmers go under the qualifying time. Maybe we'll see that again tonight in the 50 back.
Let's hope so. We then move to the 50 back for the male, and great to have him come back. He didn't retire, he just had a little break. Andrew Jeffcoat from the United Club now. He's got his fans up in the stands as well, probably the athletes he coaches. Great to have him here and going a 24.89 this morning. Yeah, and he's had to sit around all week waiting for it, so it's fantastic to see him put that out there on Sunday morning. And hopefully he can get a little bit faster tonight. We've already got 1 qualifier in that event, from previous meets, so it'll be great to have 2 guys there in that 50 back. Yeah, and then we moved on to the 50 freestyle for the multi-class. This morning, Riley Sayer went under the World Para Qualification standard, and then in the men's 50 freestyle multi-class, Cam Leslie qualifies for the World Para Champs again, and now has the world #1 ranking so far this year in that event, so that's really exciting. As well as Dan Smith goes the 25-second barrier and breaks another New Zealand record. It's a fast one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Cameron Leslie doing a great job, still #1 in the world in that 50 freestyle. And those S19 boys, the Finn Russ, the Daniel Smith, the Ian Chen, they've had great competition all week, and I think that's going to carry here into the last night.
Yeah, looking forward to that one. We then move to our distance events of the evening, the 1500 freestyle for the women. Another great battle I think we're going to have there with Eve Thomas and Caitlin Deans, both qualified already in other events for the World Aquatics Champs, so I look forward to seeing who takes out that gold medal.
Yeah, and they've already swum under the qualifying time for that for the World Aquatic Champs as well. So I think at this point it's probably just bragging rights on the line for those 2. They've split the 400 and the 800 this week, so really taking out that distance crown maybe a little bit.
And then we move to the 800 freestyle for the men. The third of those time finals will have the 400-metre champion Brendan Visser, the 1500-metre champion Louis Clark, and then also in there Lan Hamlin-O. So a good little battle, I think, in that 800 free for men as well.
Yeah, and it was a great battle in the 1500 on night 1. So we'll see how they've held up over the course of this week. And that it's a tough race to do on the last night, but they're fit young men, and I'm excited to watch the race.
We'll then finish off with the 4x100 metre club medley relay. That'll be an exciting way to finish. And then post our swimming events, we will be doing our team announcements of all of our international trips just this year. And so stay tuned for that one at the end of the session.
Apollo Projects is New Zealand's trusted specialist for the design and construction of sports, aquatics and education centres, and is proud to be the principal sponsor of Swimming New Zealand.
Welcome back to the pool. And for the last time this week, let's introduce our technical officials. While the officials walk out onto the pool deck, let's just do a quick reminder of our civil defence alert that will be happening tonight. Please, if you can, put your phones onto aeroplane mode. Our technical officials for the evening, refereeing the male, Ali Sherwood. Refereeing the females, Jackie Forsyth. Our starter for the male events, Alan Hale. And the starter for our female events, Joe Russell. And our great technical director for the week, Diane Farmer. Officials, please be seated.
And before we get underway tonight, we have a few more awards to wrap up from our Swimming New Zealand Awards for the 2024 year. We begin tonight with the Baxter O'Neill Trophy, which is presented to the Supreme Swimmer of the Year for swimming performance, services to the sport and character in the 2024 calendar year. Our winner of the Baxter O'Neill Trophy for 2024 is Erica Fairweather. All of our awards tonight handed out by Swimming New Zealand President Ron Clark. Our second award for this evening is the Coach of the Year, which is presented to the Supreme Coach of the Year for coaching performance, service and to the sport and character in the 2024 calendar year. This year's winner is Lars Humer, Swim Dunedin. Lars receives this for his coaching performances, which include coaching Erica Fairweather to 3 medals in the Doha 2024 World Champs, including her gold medal, as well as Caitlin Deans and Kane Follows, making 3 Swim Dunedin swimmers at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. Our next award is the Domestic Technical Official of the Year, which is presented to recognise technical officials who have made an outstanding contribution within New Zealand in the 2024 calendar year. This year's winner is Ali Sherwood from the Bay of Plenty. Ali is the recipient of this award for her outstanding commitment and contribution to competitions throughout the country and her local region throughout the 2024 year. Ali officiated to an excellent standard within integral roles of the National Championships, which has also been recognised by her being nominated to the World Aquatics Swimming Officials list earlier this year. Our next award is the Jackie Clark Award, which is presented to the volunteer who has displayed outstanding commitment and dedication to swimming, either to Swimming New Zealand, a region or a club within the administration in 2024. This award is commonly known as the Volunteer of the Year. This year's winner is Beth Finer from Dargaville and Northland. Beth receives this award for her dedication to the sport. Beth holds multiple roles within the region, which include being the database caretaker, recorder, and member of the events committee and awards committee for Northland. She oversees all club meets across the region and is the driving force behind developing new initiatives and members and young swimmers. Our final award of this evening is the Duncan Lang Trophy, which is presented to the club with the most combined points in individual events across the 2024 Swimming New Zealand Championships, the National Age Group Championships, and the New Zealand Short Course Championships. The winner this year with a combined total points of 5,048 is Coast Swim Club. This is the second consecutive year that Coast has taken away this award.
We'll be right back after this short break to start the first of our finals. Here we go for the first event of session 10, the last night of the New Zealand Swimming Championships. It is event 35, the 200 individual medley for women. The first race is our C final. In lane 1, Amber Lynn, North Shore Swimming Club. 2, Evie Skidmore, Trojan Swim Club. 3, Jade Lyles, Phoenix Aquatics. 4, Abby Davidson, United Swimming Club. 5, Alex McIntosh, United Swimming Club. 6, Brooke Swan, Nelson South Swim Club. 7, Kitty Yamagami, Club 37. And 8, Mia Laban, Howard Pikaranga.
Yeah, Brooke Swan from Nelson South, a really strong butterflyer, so using that to her advantage here, opening up a very strong lead down in a 29.38. Off to a great start here in this C final. She's followed by Jade Lyles over in lane 3, the young 14-year-old from Phoenix Aquatics.
Great to have the Nelson South team here back in their pink shirts tonight to cheer on their teammates in this last session. It is Brooke Swan and Jade Lyles leading this C final at the moment.
Yeah, and Jade Lyles doing a great job here, looking very smooth, very relaxed on this backstroke leg, pulling her way back to the front of this race. Really like how she's not using too much legs there as she moves into this breaststroke. She's very strong over that breaststroke leg. Going to use these first few strokes, really important to get that tempo up nice and fast, get that charge moving.
As happens in these 200 IMs, the attacks come from different strokes as we go through. But it is right now the 14-year-old from the Phoenix Club. But here comes the United athletes in lanes 4 and 5. Abby Davidson, the 19-year-old, making her way through.
Yeah, not to be forgotten, Amber Lynn down here in lane number 1, closest to your screen. She's doing a fantastic job. She's closed that gap. It is Abby Davidson of United who will take us into this last 50. They were 42.44. A fantastic split there, 3 seconds faster than Jade Lyles next to her.
A solid swim here as we come into this last 25 metres here. Always great in our C finals to see some battles popping through. And a good first race to start off our final session. Abby Davidson from the United Club looks to be holding on to this one as she comes to the wall. 2:26.73. A good improvement from her heat time. Jade Lyles, I think, gets there in second. 2:27.68. Great back end 200 there from Abby. The breaststroke and the freestyle. And we'll wait for those official results. There they are. And Alex McIntosh, also from United Swimming Club, taking the 3rd position there. We move now to the 2nd final of our evening. It's the 17 and 18-year-old age group final. In lane 1 from North Shore Swimming, Alexis Busini. In 2 from Jazzy Swim Club, Brooke Bennett. In 3 from North Shore Swimming, Olivia Bates. In 4 from United Swimming, Freya Hingston. In 5, Jasmine Lyles from the Phoenix Aquatics Club. In 6, Alex Campion, United Swimming Club. In 7, Kezia Busini, North Shore Swimming Club. And in lane 8 from the Nelson South Swim Club, Mia Kaintali. A clean start there in our 17 and 18-year-old age group final. Looks to be the early leader, lane 5, Jasmine Lyles, her sister in that previous heat. So good to have the Lyles sisters here racing for their club.
Yeah, and looking really strong. Jasmine Lyles, a very, very good breaststroker, so I'm sure the race plan is to put herself in that race at 100 metres, and she's doing a great job of that here, taking out this age group final, 29.94. Nice tight race there between her, Freya Hingston, and Alex Campion.
Freya Hingston from the United Club in lane 4, a strong backstroke here. She popped up in that 400 AM back on night 1 in this age group as well, so looks like she's having a great week of swimming here for the United Club.
Yeah, and she's doing a really great job there. You can see good arm speed over top of the water, but taking that little bit of extra time to get that good deep catch, really getting that nice power through as she takes every single one of these backstroke strokes.
She turns in 106.22. Alex Campion, also from United, 106.67. So United coming through in these 200 IMs in our early finals tonight. But keep an eye out for Jasmine Lyles, as Matt said, in this breaststroke lap.
Yeah, and Jasmine Lyles almost seemingly taking 2 strokes for the one of Freya Hingston next to her. So she's doing a great job of putting herself back. Clearly the race plan for Freya Hingston, get herself ahead through that butterfly and backstroke, and Jasmine Lyles has just swum straight past her on this 50 breaststroke. Lovely position, hand position as she drives herself forward into this last turn.
Jasmine Lyles with a 40.5 on that 50-metre split. It's up to the United girls now to try and chase her down in the freestyle leg. Looks to be like Freya Hingston definitely having a go. Here she comes. Freya Hingston from the United Club, Jasmine Lyles from the Phoenix Club, and Alex Campion also. A great finish here in our 17 and 18-year-old age group final. Teammates cheering on. It's going to be a tight finish. Who's got the best one? Freya Hingston grabs the win there, 2:23.73. Jasmine Lyles, 2:24.17. And sneaking into 3rd place, Brooke Bennett, 2:25.09. We'll have to wait for the A final to see who are all the medal winners of our 17 and 18-year-old age group. But a good showing there from that final.
Yeah, great last 25 metres there from Freya Hingston. She was a little bit behind going into that last turn. You almost got a sense she could see where she needed to be, and she just dropped that hammer with 25 metres to go.
There's our official results of our 2nd final of the evening. We move now to the 200 individual medley women's A final. And in lane 1, Ariella Riley, Hamilton Aquatics. From Tahiti in lane 2, Diotili Vido. In 3 from the North Shore Swimming Club, Monique Wierzowski. In 4 from the Hamilton Aquatics Club, Georgina McCarthy. In 5 from Coast Swimming Club, Zylika Pratt-Smith. In 6 from the Whanganui Swim Club, Bridie Quayle. In 7 also from the Whanganui Club, Hana Abdu. And in lane 8 from Howick Pakaranga, Danielle Wasiata. Into the water now for this A final. Georgina McCarthy, the 400 IM winner, 200 backstroke national champion as well. Zylika Pratt-Smith, we saw her and Monique Wierzowski have a great battle in the 200 breaststroke. All 3 of them in this race, so this will be interesting, all the different tactics. We know Georgina's backstroke is strong and that Monique will come through in the breaststroke. We'll see where they're at now. It is Georgina McCarthy, 29.56, leading this one off, Matt.
Yeah, and I think the likes of Zylika Pratt-Smith and Monique Wierzowski really going to make their charge on this third 25. So it's going to be who can get themselves out in front the best. And I think doing a really good job at the moment, Danielle Asiata over in lane number 8. The 18-year-old, so she's seen those age group swimmers go, her age group final go before. She's a great 400 IMer, so keep an eye on her as this race goes on.
2:12.83 is the World Aquatics A standard time that the senior athletes will be striving for. It is Georgina McCarthy with a great lead here, 1:02.97. Keep an eye out for some of the breaststrokers as they make their way through, but Georgina McCarthy looking strong out in the lead.
Yeah, and I think she's looking really good here in that breaststroke, really getting herself forward nicely, really getting behind, getting that kick in behind her arms, looking really, really strong. She'll want to have a split around that 140, 141 here to give herself some chance of getting under this 2:12 qualifying time.
This morning she came home in a 30.8, if I remember correctly, so I saw her really try to sprint that one this morning and practice this skill. Zylika Pratt-Smith holding on to second now. Georgina McCarthy, 25 metres left to swim. Hopefully we can help her along, get to this race. Some great racing going on in our 17 and 18-year-old age group. But Georgina McCarthy, 5 metres now, coming into the wall, 2:15.38. Zylika Pratt-Smith, 2:18.68. Nabbing the third position, Monique Wierzowski, 2:20.71, which would also mean she takes out the gold medal in the 17 and 18-year-old age group. A strong, dominant performance there by Georgina, led from start to finish. As we look at those official results, as the girls exit the water, Georgina McCarthy, 2:15.38, Zylika Pratt-Smith, 2:18.68, and Monique Wierzowski, 2:20.71. And Matt will grab a quick chat with Georgina.
Yeah, and I'm down here with our winner, Georgina McCarthy. Georgina, congratulations. Third title for the week, taking out the 200 IM. How do we feel about that one?
To be fair, how I felt in the race, I thought this time was going to be way faster. But happy to finish on a win.
And, you know, perhaps not the week you wanted, but plenty of positives to take out of it to go back into training?
Yeah, lots of things I need to work on, which is always good.
Well, again, congratulations on all your titles this week. All the best for the year to come.
Now we head to event 122, the 200 individual medley for women multi-class final. In lane 3 from the Aquatic Swimming Club, Mackenzie Drag. In lane 4 from the Viking Swimming Club, Gabriella Smith. And in lane 5, Charlotte Murphy from the Aquatic Swimming Club. Underneath the World Para Qualification standard this morning, Gabriella Smith, she'll be looking for a good improvement, I think, tonight as she gets the second opportunity. Also this morning, Charlotte Murphy did a SM6 national record as well of 4:14.47, so we'll keep an eye on that time for her. But at this stage, Gabriella Smith leading a strong race here in the middle of the pool.
Yeah, and Gabby Smith doing a great job down there at that Viking Swim Club. You know, she's had a really strong year coming off the Paris Paralympic Games last year. You know, she's mentioned how she's using this as a bit of a tester to see where the fitness is. She doesn't normally do too many of those other races outside of the breaststroke. So, you know, great to see her getting in there, challenging herself early in the season, you know, learning things about the race and helping herself improve as the year goes on.
Yeah, at the beginning of a 4-year cycle towards the next probably Paralympic Games, she'll be looking to expand those races and keep developing each stroke, I'm sure, especially as she looks to improve this 200 IM as she comes up to the 100-meter mark at 1:19.70. We know now she's going to try and take on this breaststroke lap as one of her key targets.
Yeah, and a strong breaststroke, doing a great job. This is really where that fitness does tend to be tested. Yeah, you've done all that work in that breaststroke, so it's all about making sure that technique stays strong. Those breasts start to get a little bit heavier and heavier here through the back half of this 50. You almost start holding out for that turn into the freestyle, but she's looking nice and strong, nice and consistent with that stroke rate.
Charlotte Murphy touches at her 100-meter in 1:58.43. And so does Mackenzie both from the Aquatic Swimming Club. So great to have teammates here racing in this 200 IM multi-class. Gabriella Smith now onto her last 50, 2:05.49 at the 150. She'll be looking to get home in a strong freestyle after winning that 100. 20 meters left to swim for Gabriella Smith. Remember, the time for the World Para Qualification is 2:43.49. And she's done it again and a little bit quicker than this morning. Gabriella Smith, 2:43.21. Again under the World Para Qualification standard. So well done, Gabriella Smith. Always a great smile on her face as we look to the 150-meter end. Charlotte Murphy and Mackenzie Drug having a teammates battle here. They touch almost simultaneously here. Mackenzie of the SM8 classification and Charlotte of the SM6. The Canterbury region dominating this women's 200 IM multi-class.
And of course that 4:14.47 by Charlotte Murphy in lane 5 this morning was a national record for her. So we'll keep an eye on the clock as she comes down here through the last 25 meters.
Mackenzie of a time this morning, 4:05.01. So we'll see if she can make that improvement as well. 5 metres left to swim now for Mackenzie from the Aqua Gym Swimming Club. She touches 4:07.46. Charlotte Murphy coming into the wall. 4:12.53. That's a New Zealand record in the SM6 category for Charlotte Murphy. A great job by our Cantabrians in that event. Gabriella Smith working towards now the World Championships. Will be great to see her competing under that New Zealand cap again, and she takes out the national title here in a 2:43.21. And we'll get her to have a quick chat with Matt as she exits the pool.
Yeah, I'm here again with Gabby Smith after another national title and another World Para Series time. How do you feel about that one?
Very happy with it. It was the last swim of the meet, so I'm glad to go out with a bang.
And as you say, good meet this week. Yeah, if you were to wrap it up into a couple of words, how do you feel you've swum?
I think I've definitely done what I've came to do, which is obviously make the times for Worlds, and I'm happy with the times overall, so that's good.
Perfect. Well, congratulations and all the best for later in the year.
Thanks, Matt. We move now to event 36, the 200 individual medley for the men. The first of our finals for these guys is the C final. In lane 1, Callum Lockhart, Viking Swim Club. 2, Flynn Grace, Viking Swimming Club. 3, Sam Kinney, Coast Swimming Club. 4, Grayson Coulter, North Shore Swimming Club. 5, Nathan Walker, Jazzy Swim Club. 6, Curtis Melsop, Ngātai Tuatia Atararika Swimming. 7, Owen Bao, North Shore Swimming Club. 8, Samuel Asiata, Hawak Pakaranga.
And of course this morning, Grayson Coulter, the 13-year-old from North Shore, took out that national age group record, improving on his own time he set earlier this year in Napier at the age group championships. A phenomenal young swimmer, really positive things coming out of the young man from Auckland. So we'll keep an eye on that 2:13.56.
He turns in at 59.08, the 13-year-old. Not a bad breaststroke, Grayson Coulter, the 13-year-old, but we know what he's going to bring home in the freestyle after that 200 freestyle age group record, Matt.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously excels in that butterfly and freestyle distances, as we see the rest of the field starting to close in a little bit here on the breaststroke. Doesn't mean he's no slouch over that breaststroke, but I think the likes of Nathan Walker next to him, a bit of an IM specialist, he can fly. Sam Kenny of Coast as well, but Nathan Walker doing a fantastic job. 35.95 on that breaststroke, but absolutely top class split on that breaststroke, and he's going to let everyone try to chase him. He's come off that wall flying. He's got a great kick behind him.
There's no way normally a 19-year-old wants to be shown up by a 13-year-old in our sport of swimming. Grayson Coulter coming back on him in this last 50, but it looks like Nathan Walker dominating breaststroke 50 and holding on strong in this freestyle for a time of 2:09.64. Grayson Coulter, 2:11.86, a New Zealand 13-year-old age group record. What a great swim by the young man. That's almost 2 seconds faster than what he swam this morning.
And speaking of going faster, Nathan Walker improving 6 seconds on his swim, really using that 50 breaststroke to catapult himself into the lead there. Really just from about 10 meters to go in that breaststroke leg, there was no catching him. and a fantastic swim by all the boys there. Lots of improvement across that C final.
Great to see our athletes getting that second opportunity in our finals. We move now to the second final of the 200 IM for men, the 17 and 18-year-old age group final. In lane 1 from Porirua City Aquatics, Joseph Raiha. In 2 from Tahiti, Mateo Bafre. In 3 from Blenheim Swimming Club, Jack Love. In 4 from Kiwi, Liam Rees. In 5 from Tahiti, Sosteni Vado. In 6 from Icebreaker Aquatics, Alexander Willis. In lane 7 from Alexandra Swimming Club, Caleb Ludlow. And in lane 8 from the Viking Swimming Club, Flynn Grace. Away and racing in our 17 and 18-year-old age final. The Tahitian had a strong start this morning, and he's done it again here at the start of his age group final this evening.
Yeah, and looking really, really strong here. Next to him, the Icebreakers, Alexander Willis doing a great job to hang in their 27s for the top 3 through the board. Joseph Raya down here at Porirua City Aquatics, keeping himself in the race early. I think one to keep our eye on might be lane 3's Jack Love. We've seen him in the 200 butterfly just last night, really swim past the field in the back half. We saw him in the 400 IM, really close out the field over that freestyle, so he's doing a great job here. He's inching his way back to the front in this backstroke leg, but it will be Liam Rees taking us through.
60.77 for Liam Rees as we head into this all-important breaststroke leg of our 200 IM 17-18 age final. It is the athlete from the Kiwi club trying to take it to the rest of the field. The Tahitian not too far behind him as we look for those breaststrokers to come through. But it is Liam Rees holding strong right now. Wants to get a great touch on the wall, set yourself up to really get the rhythm back into that freestyle.
Yeah, Liam Rees and Sosteni Vado of Tahiti having a great race in the middle there, looking at each other here as they go back down this last 50 metres. Love what Liam Rees has done throughout this race, looking nice and strong. He doesn't look too rushed here in this freestyle. He'll look to pick up that tempo. The kick starts to gallop that little bit more. He's charging his way home. He's pulling away from the field. And Jack Love from Blenheim as well is doing a great job claiming back the second overall spot in this race.
2:11.75 for Liam Rees. A time this morning, 2:13.41, so a good improvement in that final. He looks pretty happy about that one. So good to see some PBs from our age group athletes. Looks like the tactics that he must have talked with his coach through that one have put him in that lead, and right now he's in that gold medal position with a few age groupers still to swim coming up next in our A final. But there's those official results. Jack Love sneaking through there for second place as well. We move now to the 200 individual medley for men, the A final. In lane 1, Daita Bassini North Shore Swimming Club. In lane 2, from Mount Eden Swimming, Jacob Story. In 3, from the Coast Swimming Club, Sam Brown. In lane 4, Club 37's Ryan Peck. In lane 5, from Roscoe, Kevin Zhang. In 6, from North Shore Swimming, Blair Helms. In lane 7 from Roscoe, Daniel Creating. And in lane 8 from Romania Swimming Club, Hunter Lloyd. A strong heat swim this morning by Ryan Peck, trying to hold on to the title for the Club 37 outfit without the likes of Lewis Claiborne here this week. He's got a strong butterfly, but look out, Kevin Zhang. He won that 200 freestyle last night, and Sam Brown, a world champs qualifier last year. It's a great field.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Ryan Peck's shown the benefits of having a training partner such as Lewis Claiborne, world class in the 200 IM, and taking out that top seed this morning. A great turn there on that backstroke, and another example of how a good training environment can really start breeding success for all these swimmers.
But here comes Sam Brown from the Coast Swimming Club. He's very experienced at these IM events. He's making his way through in the backstroke 50 here. We'll see what sort of lead he takes into this one. He goes through 56.71 to a 57.60.
Yeah, and absolutely, Sam Brown, we've seen him throw down some really special 200 IMs, either at short course nationals or age groups across the years. Really seems to get up on the last night, and a 30 point on that 50 backstroke is a phenomenal split. He's moved down in recent years from being a 400 IM specialist. We see him do a little bit more of the 200s now, and he's pulling away from the field.
He knows he probably needs a lead over the likes of Kevin Zhang from that 200 freestyle event last night. He looks to be really taking it to these boys here. Throwing down. Sam Brown with a 35.99. Those boys tucking in behind. Let's see what happens in this freestyle 50. Here comes Kevin Zhang, but Sam Brown holding on.
And we know Kevin Zhang's a really strong finisher. We saw that strength in that 200 freestyle, but he may not have enough here to catch Sam Brown. He's got a powerful stroke. Sam Brown looks to be tying up just a little bit, but he's probably done enough to get home here. We'll keep an eye on the clock.
Sam Brown takes the win, 2:03.47. Ryan Peck just touched out there for fourth, but Kevin Zhang takes the silver, and Blair Helms makes his way through to the bronze medal. A great performance there, I thought, by Sam Brown. Controlled his butterfly, attacked the back and breaststroke, and then had enough on that freestyle, Matt.
Yeah, absolutely. You can tell the backstroke and the breaststroke were the focus there. The tempo up, the energy was up, and by the time that last 15 metres rolled around, it almost looked like we were just hanging on for that finish. For a great swim there by Sam Brown of Coast. And I'm sure Steve will be able to grab an insight into what Sam was thinking during that race in just a few moments.
Sam, congratulations, 200 IM national champion, your first one of the week. You happy with that swim?
Yeah, I am. I'm really happy to end the week like that. I've had a massive week, pretty tired, and it's always hard to back it up at the end of the week.
What do you think the difference was there? What was the plan to win that one? It looked to us, poolside, get aggressive in that back and breaststroke and then try to bring it home in the freestyle?
To be honest, there was nothing in my head. I visualised, I've swam that race about 100 times in my head, and I knew exactly what to do, and I executed it perfectly.
That obviously that means you put in the work over the season, mentally and physically for that event. And have you enjoyed your week here at the National Champs?
Yeah, I have. It's always good fun to bash it out against these guys, so I love it.
Awesome. Our national champion, 200 AM, Sam Brown.
Thanks, Steve.
And we move now to introduce your finalists in event 123, the men's 200 metre individual medley multi-class. In lane 2 from Club 37, David Beck. In lane 1 from St. Paul's, Ian Chen. In lane 4 from Pukekohe Swimming Club, Daniel Smith. In lane 5 from North Shore, Asher Smith-Franklin. In lane 6 from Pukekohe, Joe Watkins. And in lane 7 from Danny Burke Swim Club, Jonty Howland.
A New Zealand record this morning by Daniel Smith from the Pukekohe Club in 2:23.15. Asher Smith-Franklin aiming for the World Para Qualification standard in the S14 classification of 2:16.11. Keep an eye on that as we go through the first 50 metres. It is Daniel Smith. He has been swimming fast these last couple of days, Matt.
Yeah, absolutely. Doing a great job. He was a 2:23 this morning. Asher Smith-Franklin, a 2:17. So as you said, he's looking to improve by about a second and a half. But at the moment, Daniel Smith is looking like a great target for Asher Smith-Franklin to chase. But as we saw in that previous race, Asher Smith-Franklin is absolutely attacking this backstroke. That tempo is up and he is flying down the pool here.
He knows he needs to make some small improvements, probably over each 50 after this morning's heat swim if he wants that Para World Champs qualifying time as Asher gets through. Lane 5, 1:03.79 through the 100-metre mark. Daniel Smith not far behind, 1:05.99, and Ian Chen, also of the S19 category, did a 2:27.6 this morning, so he'll be looking for a good improvement as well.
Yeah, and absolutely, Asher Smith-Franklin, when you get a chance to talk to him, such a detail-orientated swimmer, and one of those things that really helps swimmers excel in these 200 and 400 IMs, those finer details, those changing from one stroke to another turns. He's getting on that lane rope a little bit. We'll keep an eye on his split here at 150. We know he's in good shape. We've seen him finish strong in the hundreds this week. 1:43 there, so he's got to come back in that 33 or under to get this qualifying time.
Let's help him along, ladies and gentlemen. Asher Smith-Franklin desperately wants to get this World Qualification standard. 25 metres left to swim for the North Shore athlete. Daniel Smith holding on to second over Ian Chen, but Asher Smith-Franklin, as we watch him come into the wall. 5 metres left to swim. 2:16.06, he's got it, ladies and gentlemen. Asher Smith-Franklin, what a great last 50. He gets it by 0.05 of a second, what a legend. I believe that is his first World Para Qualification standard. What an amazing swim on our last night here at the National Championships. All that hard work paying off. We'll just check on some of those other results. Also, out of lane 4, Daniel Smith, a New Zealand SM19 New Zealand record. Let's give him a round of applause as well. A great race there by our multi-class athletes. With 50 metres left to swim, we have Jonty, the 14-year-old from the Danny Burke Club. He also this morning did the 800 freestyle. He's back in action again. He broke a New Zealand record in the 800. And he's got 25 metres left to swim. His time this morning, 4:03.30. Super fit Jonty to be able to back up a multiple events over this last day of our national champs. Let's cheer him on into the finish here. Jonty Howland from the Danny Burke Club. 4 minutes, 0.59. A great improvement again. What a beast. He's got there, Jonty, again another personal best. Even after doing an 800 free as well this morning. That shows how great our multi-class athletes are at this moment. Asher Smith-Franklin though, look at that. Absolutely stoked. Our winner of the event is Daniel Smith with the New Zealand record. We'll get Matt to grab a chat to him, and also we'll get him to chat to Asher Smith-Franklin as well.
Yeah, I'm down here with our overall winner, Daniel Smith, and a new national record holder. You add another one to the collection. How's that feeling right now?
Pretty good. Feeling very tired, but pretty worth it.
Yeah, so after a week like that, looking forward to just getting back, taking a few days off, or are we straight back into training?
Probably take a few days off, but then, yeah, getting straight back into it after that.
Yeah, well, congratulations again on a fantastic meet, running off your night with another national record and title. And I'll have a word with Asher as well. Asher, there's a lot of excitement going on. You waited till the last night to get that world qualifying time. How does that feel?
It's amazing. So much of that pressure's not off. And I actually can breathe now.
So just overall, a general state of relief really went out after it. So we'll let you go get a warm down, man. Obviously lost for words. Congratulations again.
You can see how much it means to our athletes when they do those special swims. We'll be right back after a short break for our 50-meter backstrokes.
You know your best can always be better. When you're always prepared to give it your all. You must flow like water, but be fueled by fire. You eliminate doubt and replace it with focus. If there's a boundary, you're pushing it. Even when you know fast is your only speed, you know that's never enough. Power Skin Primo, the first race suit with Hyperforce fabric. First is better than fast.
Welcome back to our final session, our last session of the National Aquatic Champs here in Auckland. We move now to event 37, the 50 backstroke for women. We'll have 3 finals. The first one is our C final. Lane 1, Paige Stringer. 2, Jade Lyles. 3, Charlotte Cole. 4, Liv Peebles. 5, Arissa Liu. 6, Jessie Welsh. 7, Hayley White. 8, Emma Wallace. A great start in the middle of the pool by Arissa Liu as we make our way through the C final. Liv Peebles coming through strong in this back half of the 50-meter. It looks to be the North Shore athlete, Liv Peebles, going for the touch, 29.95. A good little improvement from her heat swim.
Absolutely, we see that replay off to a great start, really gets nice and deep under that water, using as much of that first 15 metres as she can. And as we always say with those 50s, so important how it comes down to the touch. And could not have timed it much better, inching under that 30-second mark there, perhaps for the first time.
The official results there as we move to the second of our 50 backstroke women finals. It is the 17 and 18-year-old age group final. In lane 1, Zaniqua Pratt-Smith, Mount Maunganui Swim Club. In 2, from Swim Timaru, Annabelle Scott. In 3, from Heratonga Sun Devils, Breeze van Woodhoodsen. In 4, from Whanganui Swim Club, Hana Abdu. In 5, from Howick Pakaranga, Danielle Wasiata. In 6, from United Swimming Club, Xanthi Miller. In 7, from Howick Pakaranga, Mia Laban. And in lane 8, from Icebreaker Aquatics, Emma Bindal. Our 17 and 18-year-old age group final, they'll be vying for medals in this event as we look to see who appears in this first 25 metres. It looks to be out of lane 5, Danielle Asiata, who's just come off that 200 IM. But here also in the 200 IM, Hana Abdu coming through now. It's a great little tussle. Let's keep an eye on that finish. Who's got the best one? It is Hana Abdu, 30.13. She takes out the 17 and 18-year-old age group final. As I look ahead, there's only one 17-year-old in that next day final, so might have locked herself a place on a medal.
Yeah, absolutely. We look at that replay, as we always say, comes down to that finish. Two swimmers just out of the water from that 200 IM. So a nice 50 to kind of bring that warm down a little bit. But really, really great swim there by those two girls backing up.
There's those official results as we move to our third final of the 50 backstroke for women. Our A finalists. In lane 1 from the Whanganui Swim Club, Riley McBride. In 2 from Phoenix Aquatics, Hazel Auerhand. In 3 from the Coast Swimming Club, Laura Quilter. In 4 from the Coast Swimming Club, Amber George. In 5 from the Coast Swimming Club, Savannah Eve Martin. In 6, also from the Coast Swimming Club, Milan Glitmeyer. In 7 from Club 37, Isabel Gibson. And in lane 8 from the North Shore Swimming Club, Tess Winneray. Tactics come into play in our 50 backstroke for women A final. Who appears first at this 25-metre mark? Let's keep an eye in the middle of the pool. Amber George, the sole swimmer, under the 28-second mark this morning. They're all vying for a World Aquatics time of 28.22. Amber George coming through and appearing in the lead here as they come to the touch. 27.92 from Amber George. She improves on her time by 0.03 of a second from this morning. Laura Quilter takes the silver. We'll wait for those official results to see where we got, but a good clean race and a little bit faster than this morning, Matt.
Yeah, absolutely. As we've seen all week, Amber George doing a great job utilising that start and that full 15 metres underwater and being that sole swimmer under that 28-second mark. Great to see. The final result, Savannah Eve Martin for third, Isabel Gibson rounding out the top 4.
we'll grab a chat with Amber and Savannah, who qualified this morning in the heat swim. Amber, national champion, a World Aquatics A standard time, faster than this morning. You must be very happy.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm very happy with that swim. There's a few things that didn't go my way in that, but I'm overall, yeah, happy.
Yeah, you should be happy, of course, of course. The smile on your face, probably looking up to your parents there. That's really awesome to see. Tell us a little bit about your journey to get this A standard time. What do you think's been that difference or key part for you to get under the 28-second mark?
Just like, it's been a long journey, oh my God, but no, definitely just working on my skills, and underwaters and turns has been a big part of my program, and yeah, still a long way to go, but slowly getting there.
Must have been excited by that announcement of the 50s coming to the LA 28 games. So we have loved watching you here this week, and we can't wait to see you get even faster. Amber George, national champion. We'll bring on Savannah Eve Martin here, who, congratulations this morning, getting under that A qualifying standard. Not quite as fast tonight, but must be pretty happy to, or relieved maybe, to get that time this morning.
Yeah, I was super stoked this morning. Like, I was super nervous going in, but knew that I could do it. So when I saw the board this morning, a huge weight came off my shoulders, and I was like, oh, like, so happy. But unfortunate for tonight, that's okay.
Yeah, I talked to your parents. I mentioned it this morning just after you swam when I was getting my coffee, and they said you're a little bit nervous. Not much sleep last night, but at the end of the day, sometimes the nerves helps us fire up that little bit more as we try to hit those huge targets that have been our goals for a couple of years.
Yeah, 100%. A bit of loss of sleep last night, but in a 50 you don't need it, so it's all, the adrenaline got me going, and I'm super stoked, yeah.
Awesome. Our world champs qualifier from this morning, Savannah Eve Martin.
Move on now to event 38, the men's 50-metre backstroke. Your C finalists are behind the blocks.
In lane 1, John Quirk. 2, William Seymour. 3, Samuel Potching. 4, McAllister Clark. 5, Alessandro Esposito. 6, Ollie Lutton. 7, Liam Woods. 8, Thomas Kokoro Frost. Strong showing in the middle of the pool here by McAllister Clark in the C final. He looks to be half a body length ahead of the rest of the field as he comes to the wall. In a time of 26.63. That's a great improvement for him from this morning's time. You can't see it at home, but here at the National Aquatic Centre on the scoreboard, a lot of green lights popping up, which means faster than this morning.
Yeah, it looked like he got off to a really, really strong start there on that replay and never looked back. About head and shoulder above the field, has himself that timing for a nice strong lunge there into that finish improvement. As you said, lots of improvement across the board. 26.63 for McAllister Clark.
There's those official results as we move now to the second of our 50 backstroke for men, the 17 and 18-year-old age group final. In lane 1 from Kiwi West Aquatics, Joshua Carroll. In lane 2 from the Otaki Titan Swimming Club, Noah Island Spicer. In 3 from Phoenix Aquatics, Brandon Holder. In 4 from the Swim Zone Racing Team at Nainai, Daniel Williams. In lane 5 from the Viking Swimming Club, Harrison James. In lane 6 from Central Hawke's Bay Swimming, Lucas Percival. In 7 from Kiwi, Liam Rees. And in lane 8 from the Coast Swimming Club, Jonathan Swanepoel. Daniel Williams from the Swim Zone Racing Team. He took out the emerging athlete for the zonal of the Wellington region. He'll be looking to try and push the pressure on Jasper Cornish, who's in the A final coming up next. Trains out of the new facility in Nainai in the lower hut. Daniel Williams, coached by Frank Terrell, coming through here. Looks to take the win, 26.67. Faster than this morning.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, plenty of green on that board for these young men in this 50 backstroke. Daniel Williams, a really strong, fast backstroker. We've seen him jumping in and out of these A finals here this week, so great way for him to finish the week. And again, as we see that finish, perfect, no deviation in that stroke or speed as he lunges into that wall.
There's those official results as we move now to the third of our finals for the men's 50-metre backstroke, the A final. In lane 1 from Tahiti, Kiha Desobres. In 2 from the North Shore Swimming Club, Cooper Morley. In 3 from Club 37, Jack Hendy. In 4 from the United Swimming Club, Andrew Jeffcoat. In 5 from Club 37, Zach Dell. In 6 from the Coast Swimming Club, Cameron Gray. In 7 from the Coast Swimming Club, Jasper Cornish. And in lane 8 from Phoenix Aquatics, Bruce Shen. .24.89 the time Andrew Jeffcoat did this morning to qualify for the World Aquatics Championships. He'll want this win again. Now for the United Swimming Club. Never retired, he just had a break. He's back though to try and take out this 50 backstroke. Andrew Jeffcoat coming through, a clear leader here in the pool. 24.89 again, he gets there for the second time. A great swim by our experienced athlete, Andrew Jeffcoat.
Yeah, absolutely great start. Really well known for his underwaters. We've seen it there from the Commonwealth Games all the way here as well into those underwaters.
Yeah, strong last 10 metres over the rest of the field. I think that comes down to some experience and maybe the moustache. 24.89. Second place, Cameron Gray, Coast Swimming Club. 25.67, and Zach Dell taking third position there. And as usual, the A final men always take their time getting out of the pool as we wait for Andrew to have a chat. Look at those signs from his swimmers. I think he coaches at the United Club. They're stoked to be here and supporting their coach.
Yeah, and I'm down here now with Andrew Jeffcoat. Andrew, first of all, congratulations. Is it fair to say you're back, or did you never leave?
Never left. I don't know where everybody's getting these retired rumours from, but back here to stay. We'll give it a good crack.
And you've carried on with sort of a change now in a coaching and a swimming capacity. How has that changed the way you look at the sport?
Oh, it's awesome. I've got a bunch of my athletes out here tonight, and I got a whole bunch watching at home. But they inspire me every day. They're the hardest workers I know. So I'm very, very grateful for them. I wouldn't be here without them, and also Andy McMillan and Owen, who's up in the stands as well. Wouldn't have been able to do it without you, mate. This is our swim. I've been doing it pretty much on my own, except for with Ori and Andy, and I'm very proud to be able to call them my friends and obviously colleagues, but yeah, very, very, very good friends.
Well, it's clearly working. Great that you gave them something to cheer about tonight. Again, congratulations, Andrew Jeffcoat.
A great swim there by our 50-metre backstrokers. We'll be right back after a short break for a quick wrap of the first half of the evening. Great to have you with us here at session 10 of the Apollo Project's 2025 National Swimming Championships. A quick halfway wrap, Matt, and 200 IM, Gina McCarthy, a strong showing in the female event.
Yeah, absolutely. Finished off a strong week for her, as she said. Probably some things to go home and work on and by her own admission, but I think lots of positives for her. 3 titles to come out of the week, so always good to see. There's always something that you can be happy with in the pool.
We moved into the multi-class females, and Gabby Smith again under the World Para Qualification standard, and also Charlotte Murphy, a New Zealand record.
Yeah, absolutely, for both the multi-class. The theme seemed to be World Para times, and then those national records started by Gabby Smith. And, as I said, very positive outlook she's got going into the year of swimming into racing later in the year. And then obviously in that men's side, Asher Smith-Franklin with one of the celebrations of the week. You could see on the interview how much that meant to him to finally get under that World Para time, and as well for Daniel Smith, another national record.
Yeah, a great, phenomenal swim there by Asher, and the raw emotion that we get to see here live poolside. That means a lot, not only to himself, but probably thinking about his family who's helped him get to that position, and just the excitement of wearing a New Zealand cap, Matt, as we know, there's no greater feeling. In the men's 200 IM, Sam Brown, a dominant performance there in the end from the Coast Swimming Club. That was also great to see. We then moved on to the 50 backstroke for the women. Amber George, again under the standard, a faster and PB for her in that 27.92. Still thinks she's got a lot to work on there, which is great to hear as she heads towards the World Champs.
Yeah, and I think one of those things you notice when that 50 free swum on that world stage, so many little details come into play, the number of strokes, the number of kicks. So one, it's great to see every time she's swimming this 50 back, she is improving. She's going under that qualifying time again and again. But it's exciting to see where she may be following the great last 12 months that she's had.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that at some point we see her break that national record in the 50 backstroke. Savannah Eve Martin this morning getting that qualification standard as well. And then to finish that first half, we had Andrew Jeffcoat there taking complete control of the men's 50 back and equaling his time from this morning.
Yeah, just a word on consistency there. It's pretty hard to do that back-to-back on the same day. I think it's great to see how a change of perspective has really changed the way he looks at that sport. Seems to be a lot more, a lot more relaxed, a lot more loose around poolside heading into these 50 backstrokes. So, great to see he's still in form and still trucking along in that 50 back.
Yeah, and great to see that he's now coaching our younger generation, and those kids being here to support him from the United Club. That is great to see here as we head to a short break before we get into our medal ceremonies.
Apollo Projects is New Zealand's trusted specialist for the design and construction of sports, aquatics and education centres, and is proud to be the principal sponsor of Swimming New Zealand.
Here in Tamaki Makaurau, Auckland, for our first round of medal presentations for this evening. Our medals tonight will be handed out by Nick Tung in Swimming New Zealand, a selector, and Aqua Black number 165. Our first medals for this evening are the women's 200 metre individual medley, our age group medalists. The bronze medal for the 17 and 18 200 metre individual medley from Whanganui, Hana Abdu. The silver medal from Hawak Pakaranga, Danielle Asiata. And the gold medal from North Shore, Monique Wierzowski. Our open medalists now. The bronze from North Shore, Monique Wierzowski. The silver medal from Coast, Zylika Pratt-Smith. And your gold medal from Hamilton Aquatics, Georgina McCarthy. Moving on, our medals for event 122, the multi-class women's 200 IM, the bronze from Aquagym, Mackenzie Dradge. The silver medal from Aquagym, Charlotte Murphy. Her time of 4:12.53 was a new S6 New Zealand record. And the gold medal from Viking Swim Club, Gabriella Smith. Medals now for event 36, the men's 200 metre individual medley. The bronze medal from Kiwi, Liam Rees. Sorry, this bronze to Hunter Lloyd. The silver medal to Daniel Kritig, Roscoe. The visitors' silver medal from Mount Eden, Jacob Story. And the gold medal from Roscoe, Kevin Zhang. Our medalists now for the open 200 metre individual medley, the bronze from North Shore, Blair Helms. The silver from Roskilde, Kevin Zhang. And the gold medal from Coast, Sam Brown. Medals now for event 123, the men's multi-class 200-metre individual medley. The bronze from North Shore and a new S14 national record and under the world para qualifying time, Asher Smith-Franklin. The silver medal from St. Paul Swimming Club, Ian Chen. And the gold medal in a new S19 national record time from Pukekohe, Daniel Smith. Medals now for event 37, the 17 and 18-year-old 50-metre backstroke woman. The bronze from Howick Pakuranga, Danielle Asiata. The silver medal from Whanganui, Hana Abdu. And the gold medal from Whanganui, Riley McBride. Your open medalists now. The bronze from Coast, Savannah Eve Martin. The silver medal also from Coast, Laura Quilter. And the gold medal rounding out the Coast top three, Amber George. Amber's time of 27.92 qualifies her for the
to session 10, our last evening of finals here for 2025 at the National Champs. We move now to event 39, the women's 1500 metre freestyle. Our second of the time finals. In lane 1 from Phoenix Aquatics, Hope Wang. In 2 from Mount Maunganui Swimming Club, Talitha McEwen. In 3 from Hamilton Aquatics, Sophie Hay. In 4 from Coast Swimming Club, Eve Thomas. In 5 from Neptune Swim Club, Caitlin Deans. In 6 from the Neptune Swim Club, Amelia Finer. And in lane 7 from the North Shore Swimming Club, Olivia Bates. Away in racing and our timed final this evening of the 1500 metre freestyle this morning. The first of the time finals was swum. We look to the middle of the pool and we have our Olympians from Paris, Eve Thomas and Caitlin Deans in the pool. I'm sure another battle to be had, Matthew, as we go through this race.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen Caitlin and Eve going at it over the 400 and 800 metres this week. Both of those races have been very back and forth throughout the race. Yeah, Caitlin Deans has been doing a great job of really attacking the back half, back 100 metres of all of those swims. So Eve here looking to maybe just get out in front. That first 50 looked a tad more aggressive than you'd normally maybe see on a 1500, but she's going to settle into her rhythm, take us through here in a 1:00 through that first 100 metres.
These two athletes, Eve and Caitlin, both have been under the 1500 metre qualifying standard for the World Aquatics Champs of 16:24.56. So maybe it's that chance to start working on what their tactics might be like for the World Champs, but I'm sure they definitely want to win that national gold medal.
Yeah, absolutely. I always found the 1500 was a tough race to swim a lot of in a whole season. So you're coming out here trying something new, perhaps trying a new race strategy, feeling it out, even if it is feeling out the first 400, 500 metres, and then just settling into your rhythm. I'm sure knowing that that Caitlin and Eve both have that qualifying time takes a lot of stress off their mind. They've both qualified as well in the 800 and the 400 separately. So as you said, perhaps just tonight coming out, getting a swim under their belt and going for that gold medal.
We'll keep an eye on their splits, their 50-metre splits as we go through, just to see. Eve Thomas has a look at her 200-metre time. Not too sure what she's doing there, but Caitlin Deans carries on at 2:04.95.
And perhaps looking at Eve Thomas was out for a 200 freestyle time trial. We talked about the aggressiveness in the first 50, and yes, it perhaps was a little bit too fast for a 1500. So it will be Caitlin Deans of this 1500 metres. Eve Thomas maybe going to enjoy a nice warm down after that 200 over the coming kilometre and a bit of swimming.
Also tonight, yes, we have the open medals that we are striving for, but also the 17 and 18-year-old age group national championships are on at the same time here. So we'll check on those time-finaled results from the morning and keep track. In this race, Sophie Hay is 18 and Olivia Bates is 17. So they'll be aiming for that national age group title. This morning, Shay Jackson currently leads in the time of 18:16 from the North Canterbury Swim Club. So she'll be keeping a close eye on those two athletes as we progress through this 1500. But also great to see Hope Wang of the Phoenix Aquatics, a 14-year-old in this event in our A final.
Yeah, and absolutely. We saw Hope Wang swim at the National Age Group Championships back in Napier, and she was absolutely fantastic across everything. The 800, the 15, the 1, the 50, the breaststroke. It almost seemed like she had no weakness. So a really, really great young swimmer at the age of 13 out of that Phoenix club. She's really strong, really manages to swim well into these distance races, has a lot of energy to come home as strong as well. So we'll keep an eye on that. Potentially, as the race develops, what those national records might look like, but she's a really, really young, talented girl coming out of that Phoenix club.
Caitlin Deans heading into the 400-metre mark here, and a time of 4:15.98, a 32.8 split. So good to see where she's at this stage. 4:08 in her 400 free, so only 7 seconds behind that. So she'll be looking to settle into her rhythm here, I'm sure, as she progresses to see if she can better her time that she's done earlier in the season.
Absolutely, and 16:17 in the program for her best time. So you work that out, around 1:05s is what she's looking for to maintain that here over this whole race. So that 4:11 split she went through there, that's a 4:14 split, sorry, through there. That's exactly where she wants to be, looking nice and strong. Really the key here through this next 400, 500 metres is probably consistency on those splits. You're not looking for too many ups and downs, too much back and forth, just within splits of a second, 1 or 2 tenths every 50 up and down will be totally fine for her.
Now that she doesn't have Eve Thomas to worry about in this race, it's all about feel. It's about getting that pacing exactly right, all the things she's trained for. We'll keep a close eye on her coach, Lars, to see where he tells her to hurry up or she's on track at some point. Trains out of the Moana pool in Dunedin. Bit of a change in terms of their program with Erica Fairweather moving up to the North Shore Club this year. So a few changes afoot for our Paris Olympians in this past season. So it'll be good to see. I mean, a PB, I think, in the 800. So I'm sure she'll be looking to keep striving for some great results in this 15 as well. Sitting in second position at this stage is Sophie Hay from the Hamilton Aquatics Club. I believe she attended the World Open Water Junior Championships last year. So, and I think that was in Italy last year, so good to see her still getting in the pool and doing these distance events. Obviously some new events in the open water. We saw Louis Clark qualify for that 3K, so good to have her here.
Yeah, and as we saw with Louis Clark, this 1500, a great way for some of those open water swimmers to really test out that speed. I guess they would call it over 1500 metres. Many would call it an endurance event. But if you're swimming 10K, that first 1500 metres is a little bit of a sprint. So, and as you say, you know, they have that new 3-kilometre knockout competition in the open water program. So these 1500s are going to become a little bit more important.
At the 700 metre mark now, Caitlin Dean still on the 32-second split for the 50s. We'll track that 800 metre time the next time she gets to that end. Over in lane 6, Amelia Finer, also of that Neptune club. She's trying to make her way through. Stick with Sophie Hay. As Eve Thomas still holding on to 4th place, even though she's had that little break up in that first 200. Caitlin Dean's looking in great form here this week, hitting PBs in their 400 and 800. Still looking strong here as she comes into the 800 metre mark. Caitlin Dean's from the Neptune Swimming Club. She turns an 8:37.51, still at a 32.5 for the 50 split as well. So a really great performance she's having.
Yeah, and really consistent. Great to see, you know, a lot of open water around her. She's 50 metres ahead of the field. So really, really tough swim. Takes a lot of mental toughness to be able to do these kind of races out there on her own. And in the 800 on night one, she was an 8:29.32, so still only 7 seconds over that time. A really, really good job here, staying consistent. That stroke rate hasn't deviated too much. 32.7 there.
At the 800 metre mark, Sophie Hay still holding on to second in 9:08. Eve Thomas making her way back up through the field. Sitting in third now at 9:11. Our 14-year-old in lane 1, Hope Wang, threw in a 9:30 at that 800 metre mark, so she's swimming well. But Caitlin Dean's now, let's have a quick check of that 50 split, 32.59, so holding a great even split as we go through here with 600 metres left to swim.
Yeah, and Caitlin Dean's doing a great job not letting anything get much faster than that 32.5, not slipping up past those 32.8. So as we talked about before, that, you know, a little bit of wiggle room, 0.1, 0.2 of a second there on those splits. So many of these distance swimmers spend their time 50s up and down the pool in training, trying to be as consistent as possible. Really not doing much to help the idea that swimmers just spend their life staring at the bottom of a pool.
The fact that she does the 200 in terms of a speed element, the 400, you've got to have speed, the 800 and now the 15. She's got to do that full range of training to be able to be this style of athlete now. There's no really easy lap in the 1500 as such. So good to see her once again, a 32.5. Wow, she's holding that time very consistently.
Yeah, and I think, you know, going back to the swimming that 200 all the way to the 1500, the kind of swimmers that have changed that, the Ariane Titmuses of the world, the Katie Ledeckis, who can do all 4 of those distances at a world-class level. And no matter what distance you're swimming, being able to go a fast 100 or 200 at the start of it really, really helps. So it's part of that new thinking of training. There's no way that you can be a distance swimmer without a decent sprint, because you're always going to need to be able to race people home at the end. Obviously tonight, Caitlin Deans may not need much of a sprint home, but I'm sure she's got a race plan of when she wants to go.
Exactly right. just for a reminder, the World Aquatics A standard time, 16:24.56. Our New Zealand Open record still held by Lauren Boyle from 2015 at 15:40.14. A true leader who assisted our female program in getting that 200, 400, 800 and 1500 metre time really kick-started amongst New Zealand. It was great to have her a part of our New Zealand team for so many years. I got the pleasure of training with Lauren, and I hated it when she would take me down in certain sessions. It always seemed to be when I had a bad one, she was having a great one. But a 15:40 back in 2015 is still a great time these days as well. That's how fast she was. As Caitlin Deans hits a 32.8 on that 50.
Yeah, and absolutely that time from Lauren Boyle, 15:14, still stands as the third fastest of all time in the 1500 freestyle. So a really, really good time, a great national record to be chasing. We'd love to see these girls to at least get under, at some point in the near future, under that 16-minute barrier to really start putting their names in there amongst those top swimmers in the world. As we look at the splits here, through 300 metres to go, Caitlin Dean still hanging on. We haven't seen anything over that 33, so she's doing a great job with the consistency. I think 16:24, she'll feel good if she can come out here, sort of a swim out in front by herself, get under that World Aquatics time again. I think it'll cap off a very positive week for Caitlin. Great times in the 400 and 800 already, so...
Exactly right. Eve Thomas has made her way back to the silver medal position right now. So in terms of the club points, I know the Coast Swim Club will want to hold on to that overall club title as well. So I'm sure she's out there doing it for them at this stage. Sophie Hay hanging on to that third position in her program here. 17:12 is her entry time. Whether that's a short course conversion or her best long course time, we'll have to wait and see, as they also have that 300 metre mark to go. But Caitlin Deans now, 200 metres left to swim, a 32.7 again. Let's see if we can help her pick it up as she goes through. The coaches are starting to wave on. I'm sure at some point it would have started to hurt. I wonder when that was.
I'd say about 1,000 metres ago would probably be the time it really starts to kick in for most people here in this race. So really great job by Caitlin here. You can see a little bit of that kick starts to pick up. The stroke rate, the tempo has started to lift up just a tiny bit. 150 metres to go now, 32.7, lovely and consistent. Always the struggle with the 1500, even as the times seem to stay the same. And when you're in the water, it feels like you're having to pick it up every single length of that pull. So the focus, the determination to be able to keep rolling through and keep building through the race. And I think we see here, we'll see the split probably drop down just a little bit. It almost looks like Caitlin's moved into a little bit of a sprint as she will hear the whistle into this turn for 100 metres to go. There it is, 32.4, one of the fastest splits we've seen in a wee while. She's really starting to turn it up here into the finish. Definitely going to be under that 16:24 World Aquatic qualifying time. Keeping an eye there on her time in the program of 16:17.
A great swim here by our Paris Olympian Caitlin Deans with 50 metres to swim. 15:41 with 50 metres to go. 31.92 that 50. We can definitely see she's picking it up. Caitlin Deans from the Neptune Swimming Club. She's had a strong race. Apart from that first 200, she's been by herself. She picks up the rating here to finish again. We know she's got a little bit left in the tank, obviously. Caitlin Deans coming through to be the national champion in 16:12.18. 12 seconds under that World Aquatics A standard. A great swim by our 2024 Paris Olympian. as some of our athletes look to finish with 100 metres still to go, vying for those age group medals and titles. Eve Thomas will come through for the silver medal from the Coast Swim Club. She'll be racing this one, I'm sure, at the World Championships later in the year. I think her entry time of 16:07. Eve Thomas, the silver medal at 17:11. Sophie Hay coming in to try and win the gold medal. 17:20 for the 17 and 18-year-old age group. Amelia Feiner comes in to finish at 17:32. Olivia Bates, 17:49.99. Sneaks under her entry time as well. And Hope Wang from the Phoenix Aquatics, 17:59, breaking that 18-minute barrier. That's a good swim from our 14-year-old from the Phoenix Club. As these athletes exit the water, we saw a great swim there by Caitlin Dean. Super smooth, super consistent. Be great to watch her later in the year in Singapore in that 1500 freestyle as she makes her way to have a catch up with Matt poolside. Those official results. Be sure to check online to see where everyone ended up from both of those time finals.
Yeah, and I'm down here with our national champion, Caitlin Deans. Caitlin, congratulations. Under your time, under a PB, capping off a really good week. You must be really happy with your swims you've had here.
Yeah, absolutely stoked. To come away with all PBs is more than I could have asked for, so really happy.
And obviously, you know, coming out of Paris last year, heading into a new Olympic cycle, lots of things changing. You must be happy with where you are setting up, moving into World Champs later this year.
Yeah, really happy. I was a bit like this week has taken me by surprise to have PB'd all of those, so that's just given me a lot of confidence about where I'm at and heading into Singapore later on.
Perfect. Well, hopefully we'll see some more improvement as well in Singapore. Again, congratulations, Caitlin, on a fantastic week.
Thanks, Matt. We move now to event 40, the 800-metre freestyle for men. This is the third of our timed finals. Swimming this evening out of lane 1, Niall Rue Tahiti. In 2 from Whananui Swim Club, Joel Viren. Lane 3 from the Coast Swimming Club, Brendan Visser. In lane 4 from North Shore Swimming, Louis Clark. In 5, Lan Hamlin O, Coast Swimming Club. In 6 from the Coast Swimming Club, James Lee. In 7 from Kiwi, Alfie Weatherston Harvey. And in lane 8 from the United Swimming Club, Fraser Walker. The third of our time finals racing this evening, the 800-metre freestyle for men. In this event, we have Brendan Visser, the 400-metre national champion. Louis Clark, the 1500-metre national champion. It's going to be a good little battle, I'm sure, as those two distances come together. Matt, in the 800. What's the little tactic, do you think, here? Go out hard, hold on, or is it going to be a sort of a build through each 200?
Yeah, the 800 is one of those weird little distance races, and I think as it's gotten faster over the last couple of years being in the Olympic cycle, it really has turned into a little bit more of a middle distance race. I think you swim this, you approach it a little bit more like the 400. You want some speed out there in that first 200. You build through halfway, and then knowing you've only got 400 metres to go, you kind of then build into that next half, whereas I think for that 1500, you're sort of breaking it down maybe 200, 300 at a time. The 800, it's almost like it's 4 200s, which have to be quite up tempo, quite upbeat.
We already start to see the battle appearing between the Coast Swim Club and the North Shore Club as we go through the 150 mark. Louis Clark, a good solid turn there from the North Shore athlete at 128.49. We'll keep a track of their splits as we go through and see if we can pick up on their tactics as they come through on this fourth 50. You can see the way they're breathing. Louis looking across the field, Brendan looking straight at Louis' back of his head. So that's going to be great when it comes down to that last 50 if we get a sprint. We'll check the time here at the 200. 159s for our leaders.
Yeah, and I think you want to talk about the difference in maybe the 1500 and the 400 swimmer coming together in this. I think if you look at Brendan Visser there in lane 3 and Louis Clark, the big difference is how much white water you're seeing behind in that kick. The kick and freestyle can be quite taxing. You're really probably in distance relying a little bit more on that upper body, that hip roll through the stroke, which Louis does really well, uses his long arms to his advantage, whereas Brendan a little bit more consistent, a higher tempo and a little bit more kick behind him. So you're kind of seeing the dynamics of, you know, the distance, that open water stuff, and Brendan who maybe does a little bit more of that 200, 400 work.
As we say that, we see Lane Hamlin getting up on that lane rope. The Coast Swim Club trying to surround Louis Clark through this 250 to 300 metre mark. Louis' entry time, 8:10.19. Brendan Visser's 8:18.37 and Lane Hamlin 8:11.36. We look at the World Aquatics A standard of 7:48.66. That's a fast time to try and achieve. Our national record held by Zach Reed from 2021 in 7:53.06. So that's a really challenging event if we look across where the world is at in this 800 freestyle.
Yeah, and I think it's been happening like that for a while. You know, we're really waiting for someone to come in, really take that 800 down below that 750. Pretty crazy to think, you know, that World Aquatic time is roughly based around top 16 in the world for that A standard. So to think there's that many men out there going sub 7:48, and even more now. I think recently this year we've had 3 people just from Germany go under the 7:40 mark. So it's a very, very competitive event, and I think because it's been now at 2 Olympics for the men, you know, got those 400 swimmers are starting to see it a little bit more as a distance option, whereas in the past you often had to go from that 400 and stretch all the way up to that 1500.
We're at the 400 metre mark, and it is Louis Clark with a slight lead, 4:04.09. Brendan Visser, 4:04.84. Let's see what the tactics are here. Brendan Visser, who won the 400 free, looks to be doing a good job trying to hold on, but I think this will be that opportunity that Louis Clark needs. I think he's going to try and get a little bit more aggressive, and we can already see that in this 50 metres. Straight off that 400, it looked like he picked it up a little bit, and he's gone a 29.9 on that 50 alone. So a good little attack there by the North Shore athlete, Louis Clark. Also a member of the New Zealand lifesaving team last year at the World Champs. So he does well out in the ocean, as we've said, in the ocean swim events at the New Zealand Champs, but also in surf lifesaving. So great to have him here taking out this 800 metres at this stage.
Yeah,
300 metres to go.
We saw him do this in the 1500 as well. Kind of picked his moment and dropped those splits down to that 30 mids, a little bit faster here in that 30.3. So, yeah, if you're doing an 800 holding 30 points the whole way, if you've got a little bit of a sprint at the start, you're really, the closer you can get to that 8-minute barrier is a fantastic swim. Louis in the program with an 8:10, so probably a race that he really enjoys doing, and to be able to come in here and just pick up that tempo, he hasn't relied on his legs too much just yet. And not often you see, you know, those 2 or 3 kicks underwater there for those 800 swimmers, so really disciplined on those skills as well.
He's broken away in just this last 150 metres here, Louis Clark. Putting the pedal to the middle, as they might say. Brendan Visser now will be wanting to make sure he holds on to that silver medal position. If we look also at the age group category, in lane 6, James Lee, he'll be leading the gold medal charge for the Coast Swim Club. In lanes 7 and 8, we also have 2 17-year-olds. So a good little battle coming there for that national age group title as well. But 200 metres left to swim now for Louis Clark, Brendan Visser. A good battle for that bronze medal. Lane Hamlin-O and James Lee at this stage. James Lee, a qualifier for the World Junior Champs in the 400 freestyle. The time he needs to try and achieve here in the 800, 8:19.28. So his entry time is only 2 seconds off that. So if he can have a good swim here, he'll want to give himself another event, I'm sure. We come now to the whistle for Louis Clark. He's dropped down into the 31-1 zone. A little bit of sting, but I'm sure he'll bring it back. Brendan Visser with 100 metres to swim. James Lee has taken over 3rd position at 7:19. He would have to have a sub-minute last 100 to get that time. Fraser Walker from the United Club having a good swim out in lane 8. Louis Clark, 50 metres to swim. All of a sudden, he's dropped another second off that 50 from the one previous. 7:37, so he'll be looking for a PB swim here. Louis Clark, 25 metres left to swim. Brendan Visser holding on to the silver. James Lee hanging on to the bronze. Lane Hamlin-O trying to make a little comeback. But it will be the 1500 and the 800 metre title, 8:05.57 for Louis Clark. Another good smile on his face for the 23-year-old from the North Shore Club. Brendan Visser, a great race for the bronze. James Lee gets here, 8:19.61, just outside that World Junior time. Helped out by his teammate there, Lane Hamlin-O, in that last 50. Fraser Walker, a great swim. The 17-year-old, 8:28.50. Some good personal bests, I think, across the board there on our last night here at the National Swimming Championships. Louis Clark winning that 800 free, backing up the 1500. Louis, national title in the 800 freestyle to back up the 1500. Those distance events you've seen to pick up over this past season, was that always the goal with open water and then adding these 2 titles?
Yeah, pretty much. So when we found out that new 3K event was coming in, Graham said, hey, let's give it a go. So that's all worked out well, so happy as.
In terms of 8:05 as a time, what was your best coming into this event in the 800?
Was that 8:10, so stoked to go under that B time, so hopefully get a race that at Worlds, which will be a bit of fun, so yeah.
Great job. And then you add on not only, obviously, in that 3K event and the new learning, how are you going to practice for that event, you know, and tell us a bit about it. I think it's a 1,500 metre, then there's a break and people get eliminated, then 1,000, then people get eliminated, then a 500 metre sprint finish. So what's going to be the training schedule to work on that one?
Well, that's going to be up to Graham to do. As usual with Graham, I just say how fast, how far, and it's good to go.
And make sure that you keep beating Erica Fairweather in training, I'm sure, is always one of those challenges, Louis. 800 metre New Zealand champion to add to the 1,500, Louis Clark.
And we will take a quick break before we return with our final relays of these national championships.
Welcome back to the National Aquatic Centre as we head to our relay events of session 10, the finals. We move to event 41, the women's 4x100 medley relay. In lane 2, United Swimming Club. In 3, North Shore Swimming Club BT. In 4, Coast Swimming Club 18. In 5, North Shore Swimming Club 18. In 6, Club 37. And in lane 7, the pink shirts, Nelson South Swim Club. Great to see where our athletes are at for their club teams this evening. If we look to the middle of the pool for the Coast Swim Club, we have Amber George, who has had a great week of backstroke, leading off this Coast team. She'll be wanting to give them a good lead, as we know the attacks will keep coming from different strokes. Amber George through in 29.71. A good turn from here, but a great turn in lane 5 from Tess Winneray as well. So it's all on here. For the North Shore team, coming next will be Monique Wierzowski. So Coast Swim Club will need to get a move on here to make sure there's enough of a lead.
Yeah, and Amber George starting that stroke rate, starting to fade a little bit, maybe a little bit of fatigue setting in from a fantastic week so far. Tess Winneray closing that gap there. Great changeover for the Coast swimmers. Zylika Pratt-Smith.
102.25 for Amber George, 102.50 for Tess Winneray. That's a great swim by the North Shore athlete to stay with Amber George there. Monique Wierzowski having a crack here in this first 50.
Yeah, and I think we're in for a great, another great Coast versus North Shore battle. We've seen a lot of their relays this week go back and forth by legs. So obviously Monique Wierzowski, the national champion in this event. Zylika Pratt-Smith was second as well. They've battled in the 50, they've battled in the 100 and the 200, and here they go again. Monique having a really strong swim here.
Zylika Pratt-Smith trying to get aggressive here with 25 metres left to swim. This is where Monique normally picks it up another level, as she seems to be doing. Zylika's just got to stay in touch, got to use every ounce of energy on this last session of the National Champs.
And I think this may come down to being the deciding leg of this relay. Amelia Braid's going to do her best to hold off Milan Glitmire. Milan, a really, really great swimmer. She's had a great championships, but that is a big 6 or 7 metres between them here over the 100 butterfly. Amelia Braid, a top age group swimmer in that 17 and 18-year-old age group. We've seen Milan take out a couple of open titles here this week.
You never know what can happen in these relays. They can find the best in athletes. Milan Glitmire, we know she's super strong in the back end of her 100-metre swims, just like in her 100 backstroke. Then, but nothing better for Amelia Braid to know Chelsea Edwards to hand over to. And for the Coast Swim Club coming next, Zoe Pedersen. So we've got a great race on our hands here tonight.
Yeah, and Zoe Pedersen definitely closing that gap. It looks like Amelia Braid starting to tie up a little bit, but she will hand over to Chelsea Edwards. A great changeover by her. We've seen her fly on the start of these relays as well. She's a 50-100 specialist. She's being chased by Zoe Pedersen, also a 50 and 100 specialist. This is going to be a great competitive last 75 metres here. They'll try to stay off that lane rope in the middle, not try to give Zoe any chance of getting back at her.
If I was Zoe Pedersen, I would have been a bit more closer to that lane rope and tried Jason Lee Zacher, but off they go in the last 50. And Chelsea Edwards holding the lead now by almost 2 seconds.
And Zoe Pedersen down in a 25.7. Chelsea Edwards 26.2, so she's picked up half a second. She can see her. It's going to come down to the last 15, but Chelsea Edwards has done enough, and the North Shore team as well, to take out
the medley relay taken by North Shore. A time race for the Bronzehead United Swimming Club coming through versus the North Shore B team. The girls from the Central City Auckland Club, boom! They take the bronze for 21.87. A great battle for the bronze there after a good battle for the gold and silver. We'll make sure we check those official results to make sure no DQs, as Matt here will head over to grab a quick conversation with the North Shore team. Girls, if you can exit the water. Wait for those official results. It is the North Shore Swimming Club, their A team, 4:07.82. Coast Swim Club and second, United Swimming Club taking out the bronze medal.
And I'll grab a word with our winners as Chelsea Edwards climbs out of the pool. I'm here with our winners, the North Shore team, led by breaststroker Monique Wierzowski. Monique, coming in here, obviously a lot of competition between North Shore and Coast. How good does it feel to finish the week on a relay?
Oh, it's amazing, especially having a team all together. It's just team spirit, yeah.
And Chelsea, a big week on relays in the freestyle. How good did that one feel, holding off the charge there at the end?
Oh yeah, that felt so good. I've been in every single relay this week, but it's been so much fun, so yeah.
Perfect, and obviously paid off. So again, congratulations to North Shore, our final relay winners here tonight.
Thanks, Matt. As we move now to event 42, the men's 4x100 medley relay, we will have 2 finals. In our first final, in lane 3, Club 37. In lane 4, Tahiti. And in lane 5, Kiwi. 50 metres into this first final of the medley relay. Zach Dell taking it to the rest of the field. Club 37 without an entry time puts them into this first final. He'll be handing over to Ryan Peck. 55.42 for Zach Dell. That's a solid swim this evening. Ryan Peck into the water. Tahiti in second and the Kiwi Club in third.
Yeah, and I think it'll be smart to keep an eye on the Club 37 team here with this time, because obviously, you know, a time in this first time final can still qualify you for medals. Not often we see Club 37 not in the fastest heat, so I wouldn't be surprised if they can sneak their way at least into that top 5 for the final results, but at the moment it is Club 37 all the way.
Ryan Peck, who has been training with the Club 37 recently, looks to be their breaststroker for the evening, the IM specialist. He will be handing over to Jack Hendy, who's had a great week of sprinting as well. So Club 37 holding on here. Jack Hendy into the water here, 2:01.93. We'll keep track of that as we go into the next final.
Yeah, and Ryan Peck split that 100 breaststroke in a 1:06, so a really good quality time there.
Jack Hendy with a 25.00 split there as he comes to hand over to the 50 freestyle national champion back from night 1 of Harrison Clowen. So a good team here from the Club 37. They'll be pushing to challenge the other teams in the next final.
Yeah, Harrison Clowns took out his first national title in that 50-metre freestyle. Earlier in the week, we've seen him a couple of 100 splits on these relays as well. He was in that top 5 in the 100-metre freestyle as well, so he's pretty fast. And we'll have a look at that split here at the 50 metres. Again, important to note the time they're going to put down. Who knows what we're going to see in the heat after this. He goes down in a 23.0, so looking likely it'll be a sub-50 split here.
Great to have another opportunity still for our sprinters on the last night here, session 10 of the National Aquatic Champs, to put down some good personal best, even if it's in a relay swim. Harrison Clowens from the Club 37 club. He touches in 3:46.39 with a split of 49.35. A good into his meet. Tahiti in second, 3:56.65. And it will be Cale Twist finishing off here for the Kiwi Club. 4:08.44. That was our first final of 2. We'll wait for those official results. Club 37 taking out that one. There they are, their official results of the first of our finals in the 4x1 medley relay for the men. As we wait for the officials to set up the backstroke ledges, we move to the second final in lane 2, Jazzy Swim Club. In 3, the North Shore Swimming Club B team. In lane 4, the Coast Swimming Club A team. In 5, the North Shore Swimming Club A team. In 6, the Roskill Swimming Club. And in lane 7, the Coast Swimming Club B team. the last race of our national championships for 2025. We've got some fast starters. It looks to be Sam Brown out there for the Coast Swimming Club B team, Jasper Cornish of the A team for the Coast Club, and Blake Faliafa in the North Shore B team, taking this one out in 27.20.
Yeah, perhaps a little bit of revenge on the mind. We saw North Shore take out the women's relay in this. Coast will be looking at claw some points back in the overall team, and I'm sure there'll also be a battle in that B team as well, trying to get their two teams on the podium, because it is all Coast and North Shore at the moment. Coast going to hand over to Harder Hughes. He's had a phenomenal week so far in those breaststroke races.
Coast Swim Club goes into the water in first, 56.61. Onto the national champions, Matt said, Hutter Hughes in for the North Shore A team, Blair Helms and Nick Cowan for the B team. Over in lane number 7, Igor Razanov, the World Junior qualifier in freestyle. He can also do breaststroke.
Mixing it up a little bit here with that breaststroke on this leg. That B team clearly just trying to get some swimmers in the pool. Thought Blair Helms did a really good job here over that first 30 metres, sticking with Harder Hughes, but Harder down in that 28.88, a great opening 50. We know he's got the strong finish in the 200, so it's going to be hard to close that gap.
The breaststroke leg was the difference in the female medley relay. It looks to be a little difference here in this, the male second heat. We'll check the split of the 200 from that first heat as well. But there we go, Coast Swim Club into the water with Sam Kenny from the Coast Swimming Club. The Coast Club touched at 1:59.24, whereas Club 37 in the previous heat, 2:01.93.
Yeah, and Coast doing a really good job here. They're holding off. They're at the advantage. They're handing over to the national record holder in the 100 freestyle, Cameron Gray. At the end of this, Sam Kenny doing a great job down in a 25.6. Henry Williams, 25.5, so closing the gap ever so slightly.
Sam Kenny doing a good job here for the Coast Swim Club. Henry Williams trying to chase him down. Here he comes, the North Shore athlete. But who better for Sam Kenny to hand over to Cameron Gray, our Paris Olympian. He enters the water at 2:55.47. We'll keep an eye on his 100-metre split as well. McAllister Clark from the North Shore Club in second, and North Shore B in third.
Yeah, McAllister Clark definitely got his work cut out for him. Not sure he's going to be able to close this gap very much. The battle to round out the podium looks like it's going to go to North Shore. Going to maybe claim that third spot, but
23.13 for Cameron Gray on the first 50. We know he likes to come home strong as well. Cameron Gray with 15 metres to swim now for the Coast Club. It's great for them. They've had a good week across the sprint events. And it will be Cameron Gray for the Coast Club, 3:44.03. 3:48 for North Shore, which means from the first heat, that Club 37 will take the silver, we believe. Cameron Gray, a 48.56 split there. We'll wait for those official results, but teams will need a check.
yeah, as we see, it was a close race throughout, but as we got down to that finish, that clear lead at the end, and there's their final results for our second time final. Coast Swim Club 3:44 back to North Shore, and North Shore B rounding out our top three there in the final heat. Steve, we'll grab a quick word with our winners, Coast.
Since the boys aren't moving, we'll come down to them. Boys, great to win the last race of the national champs. Jasper leading off for the team. How did that feel?
Oh man, final race of the meet, you know, just just trying to put everything into it. I just gave it my all.
Nice, and then Hunter, you know, backing up after 3 gold medals. Great to do it again with the team.
Yeah, it was a good win. Good to finish it off with a gold. So puffed. I'm so ready to go home.
And Sam, great to have, you know, the national breaststroke champion coming into the wall for you, and then being able to hand over to Cameron Gray. What does that feel like in that butterfly leg?
Yeah, I'm in safe hands. Yeah, it's a pretty stacked team, so I'm happy to be a part of it.
Cam, 48.5 there to finish your week. That's a good little split there just to top off a pretty solid week.
It's a little bit off the pace, but I was a bit mesmerised by Hunter's under breaststroke. He said to me before, Cam, I'm going to make that mess. And he did a real good job. So,
good job, Coast Swim Club, taking out our final race of the National Championships here in Auckland. Well done, boys.
And we'll move into a quick ad break before a little bit of a wrap-up of our final session, and then into plenty of medals and special awards.
For their volunteering this week to make sure we could have our national championships, and also to our team in the call room, the back, making sure it all goes to plan. Thank you very much. We'll finish here with a quick wrap of the second half of the evening before we get to those medals. The 50 freestyle for the multi-class in the females, Riley Sayer going under that world para time, and Quinn Pike sub 30, Matt.
Yeah, really great swim. We came off that break. We started with Quinn Pike going that sub 30 second, really great from her. And then we rounded that out as well. Cameron Leslie furthering his world leading time in his 50-metre freestyle, and Daniel Smith from Pukekohe Swimming Club as well, taking out another S19 national title.
Yeah, great to have Cameron being a world leader. He looked pretty stoked with that one, and stoked to have the full 8 lanes filled up here as well. Big part of that, Cameron Leslie. We then got into the women's 1500-metre freestyle. Caitlin Dean's a strong performance there.
Yeah, and I think, as she said herself, she's really happy and a little bit surprised with the time she's put forward this week. And, you know, improving on her entry time and swimming again under that World Aquatics qualifying time. So that's really positive, the start of an Olympic cycle, to see that sort of form going into World Champs later this year.
Exactly. We then finished off our individual events with Louis Clark, a 5-second personal best in his 800. So that was a great way for him to finish night one, getting that time to be able to do the World Aquatics 3K open water swim, and then to go through the whole week and finish off with an 800 freestyle gold medal. That's a really good week from him.
Yeah, and I think he looked really surprised with the time as well. Pleasantly surprised, I think. So it's great to see him back, great to see him in form, and excited to what he can do in those open water swims later in the year.
We then finished with our club relays, North Shore taking out the female race over the Coast team, and then a role reversal in theory. The Coast Swimming Club taking out the gold medal. I think Club 37 taking out the silver, and the North Shore men's team in third. We'll be right back with a quick break before we get into our medal ceremonies.
Apollo Projects is New Zealand's trusted specialist for the design and construction of sports, aquatics and education centres, and is proud to be the principal sponsor of Swimming New Zealand.
We move on now to our medal ceremonies to wrap up our session here tonight. Again, our medal ceremonies, all thanks to Apollo Projects for sponsoring so much of what we do here. Our first medal ceremony is for the multi-class women's 50-metre freestyle. Our visitors' bronze medal goes to our Denmark visitor, Camilla Witt. gentlemen. Standing. Again, as we wait for our medalists to come on, thanks again to Apollo Projects. Here we are, our medalists for event 124, the 50-metre freestyle multi-class. Our visitors' bronze goes to Denmark's Camilla Witt. Our New Zealand bronze goes to Mount Eden's Tupai Nuifi. The silver from Matamata, Riley Sayer. And the gold medal from Hamilton Aquatics, Quinn Pike. Our medals now for event 125, the men's multi-class 50 freestyle. The bronze from Selwyn Finruss. The silver medal from Pukekohe Swimming Club, Daniel Smith. And the gold medal from Whangarei Swim Club, Cameron Leslie. Medals now for event 39, the women's 1500 metre freestyle. We start with our 17 and 18-year-olds. The bronze from North Canterbury, Shay Jackson. The silver medal from North Shore, Olivia Bates. And the gold medal from Hamilton Aquatics, Sophie Hay. Our medalists now for the Open Women's 1500 metre freestyle. Your bronze medalist from Hamilton Aquatics, Sophie Hay. The silver medal from Coast, Eve Thomas. And your gold medalist and national champion from Neptune, Caitlin Deans. Medals now for event 40, the men's 800 metre freestyle. The 17 and 18-year-old medalists. The bronze medal from Kiwi, Alfie Weatherston Harvey. The silver medal from United, Fraser Walker. And your gold medalist from Coast, James Lee. Our open medalists now for the men's 800 metre freestyle. The bronze from Coast, James Lee. The silver medal also from Coast, Brendan Visser. And the gold medal from North Shore, Louis Clark. Our medalists now for event 41, the women's 4x100 medley relay. Your bronze medalists from United, Xanthi Miller, Alex McIntosh, Freya Hingston and Alex Campion. Your silver medalists from Coast: Amber George, Zyleka Pratt-Smith, Milan Glipmeyer, and Zoe Pedersen. And your gold medalists from North Shore: Tess Winneray, Monique Wierzowski, Amelia Bray, and Chelsea Edwards. And our medalists now for event 42, the men's 4x100 medley relay. The bronze medal goes to North Shore: Sam Poching, Blair Helms, Henry Williams, and McAllister Clark. Your silver medalists from Club 37, Zachary Dell, Ryan Peck, Jack Hendy, and Harrison Clowns. And your gold medalists from Coast: Jasper Cornish, Hunter Hughes, Sam Kenny, and Cameron Gray. Once again, congratulations to all our medalists tonight and across the week. That wraps up our medal presentations this evening. We now have some special awards to roll through.
The next award we will hand out is the Harold Petit Trophy for the swim of the meet. It is our pleasure and privilege to present the Harold Petit Trophy for the swim of the meet at every year's New Zealand Swimming Championships. There are world-class swims that truly stand out. From World Aquatics or para swimming records to huge personal bests and 10 selection races. These are the swims that bring the crowd to their feet and stay in memory. This year we have seen many. Cameron Leslie securing #1 in the world in the S450 backstroke and freestyle. Ian Chen shattering the Verdus world record for the 400 IM. Big personal best for Louis Clark and Caitlin Deans in their 1500s. The return of Andrew Jeffcoat in that 50 backstroke. Or Milana Tapper chasing Erica Fairweather to the wall with a big lifetime best in the 200 freestyle. But the race and swim considered to have had everyone gasping the most this week is that amazing 50 butterfly final with 3 women under the World Aquatics A standard led home in nearly a half a second personal best. New national record of 25:43. Going to #4 in the world this year, the winner of the Harold Petit Trophy for the Swim of the Meet 2025 is Hazel Awahan from Phoenix Aquatics. We move now to the top age group club. In third place from Roskell with 264 points. In second place, 441 points, Coast Swimming Club. And the winners of the top age club, North Shore Swimming with 575 points. Next up, we have the top multi-class club of the year. In third place with 191 points, Aquagym Swimming Club. In second place with 224 points, Hamilton Aquatics. And the winners this year with 340 points, Pukekohe Swimming Club. Lastly, for our points tonight, the top open club. In fifth place with 193, Neptune Swimming Club. In fourth place with 235, Hamilton Aquatics. In third place with 475 points, Club 37. In second place with 1,116 points, North Shore Swimming Club, which means on 1,268 points, your winners for 2025, Coast Swimming Club. As their team heads down in the bright red, John Gaffield with the small arms. Some great results for the Coast Swim Club this year. That 50 backstroke tonight was great to have all three females from that Coast Club. Multiple events across the week, nice and strong, Matt.
Yeah, and obviously putting a number of swimmers onto that World Aquatics team and also on that World Juniors team. So a lot of hard work paying off there at the Coast Swim Club. Plenty of success in those relays as well. So not only at that age group level starting to show as well, keeping those swimmers around past that high school age, really, really great to see from the Coast team.
They train out of the facility of Northern Arena in Silverdale, as well as utilising the facility here at the National Aquatic Centre. Coached by Michael Weston, John Gatfield, Tegan Farr and Stephen Ferguson across the club. Four times in a row for the Coast Swim Club. There they all are. Congratulations, Coast Swim Club, as we head to a short break before our team announcements to represent New Zealand.
Apollo Projects is New Zealand's trusted specialist for the design and construction of sports, aquatics and education centres, and is proud to be the principal sponsor of Swimming New Zealand.
You know your best can always be better. When you're always prepared.
Funding is a real challenge. We know that a lot of schools face that ongoing. And
Apollo Projects is New Zealand's trusted specialist for the design and construction of sports, aquatics and education centres, and is proud to be the principal sponsor of Swimming New Zealand.
Welcome back to the National Aquatic Centre as we move now to the national team announcements. As we announce these teams, it is compelling to thank and congratulate all swimmers, coaches and volunteers at these New Zealand Swimming Championships and our National Age Group Championships. Without all of you, we would not have had the competition needed to succeed. It is also great to recognise and thank Swimming New Zealand selectors who work super diligently and leave no stone unturned in executing all our selection criteria and what has been a thrilling contest right up until the final races this evening. The first team to be announced is the World Aquatics Championships 2025 team. It will be held in Singapore from 27th July to the 3rd of August. The team is Lewis Clarebert from Club 37, coached by Mitch Nang. Unfortunately, Lewis is not here this evening as he is racing overseas at the Mare Nostrum Series, but a big congratulations to him for achieving the standards. The next athlete, Caitlin Dean's Neptune Swimming Club, coached by Lars Humar. The next athlete, Erica Fairweather, North Shore, coached by Graham Hill. Up next, Amber George from the Coast Swimming Club, coached by Michael Weston. It is her first New Zealand team. The next athlete, Finn Harland from the Coast Swimming Club, coached by John Gatfield. Finn achieved the time overseas and is not here at our national championships. The next athletes, Andrew Jeffcoat from United Swimming Club, coached by Andy McMillan. The next athlete, Savannah Eve Martin from the Coast Swimming Club, coached by Michael Weston. This will be her first senior open team. The next athlete, also from Coast, Zoe Pedersen, coached by John Gatfield. This will be her first senior New Zealand team. The next athlete, again from Coast, Laura Quilter at Aqua Black number 245. She is self-coached but also supported by Michael Weston. The next athlete, Milana Tapper from St. Peter's and Griffith University, coached by Tommy Fraser Holmes. This will be her first senior New Zealand team. The next athlete, Eve Thomas, Aqua Black number 270 from Coast Swim Club, coached by Michael Weston. The head coach will be the National Olympic head coach and North Shore Swimming Club coach, Graham Hill. His assistant coaches from Coast, Michael Weston. And from Club 37, Mitch Nunn. The manager will be Matthew Ingram. Some special mentions now go to Hazel Hourhand from the Phoenix Aquatics Club, coached by David Lyles. She has qualified for the team with that wonderful swim in the 50 fly, but has chosen not to contest the World Championships this year for a myriad of positive reasons. Also, Chelsea Edwards and Cameron Gray, who both achieved relay selection standards over 100 metres, therefore being eligible had we been fielding teams. Congratulations to our senior World Aquatics team. As we add to this group is the World Aquatics Open Water Championships team. We are delighted to be represented in the new 3-kilometre knockout event at the World Aquatics Open Water Swimming Championships to be held in Singapore on the 19th of July. Our athlete is Louis Clark, North Shore, coached by Graham Hill. Congratulations to our World Senior Championships team. Let's put our hands together one more time for our full team there. As we let them get a quick photo, we will be announcing a team right after.
Our next team that we would like to introduce to you now is the World Para Swimming Championships team. And with the qualification window not closing until the 7th of July, we recognise and congratulate the following swimmers who have so far met the qualification standard for selection to the Aqua Black team for the World Para Swimming Championships, also to be held in Singapore this year from the 21st to the 27th of September. The first member on this team is Cameron Leslie, Aqua Black number 272 from Whangarei, coached by Tom Onley. The next member of this team, making her first World Para team, is Riley Sayer from Matamata Swim Club. Riley is coached by Graham Lang. Following her is Gabby Smith, Aqua Black number 274 from the Viking Swim Club, and University of Queensland. She is coached by Dave Hayden. Our next swimmer achieving his first World Para qualifying time from the North Shore, Asher Smith-Franklin. Asher Smith-Franklin, coached by Graham Hill. And the last member of our team announced tonight is Josh Wilmer, Aquablack 275 from Coast Swim Club. Josh is coached by Michael Weston. The head coach for this team for the World Aquatic Championships will be National Paralympic head coach Simon Main. His assistant coach will be Tom Onley from the Whangarei Swim Club. And the manager for this event will be Amanda White.
We move now to our third team announcement for the evening. It is for the World Aquatics Junior Championships. The Junior Aquablack team for the World Aquatics Junior Championships to be held in Otopeni, Romania from 19 to the 24th of August. The team is Milan Glintmeyer from Coast, coached by John Gatfield. The next athletes from Roscoe, Daniel Crichton, coached by Josh Munro. The next athletes, Alyssa Lawson, Hamilton Aquatics, and St. Andrews, coached by Brad Hillier. The next athletes from Coast and Mariston, Brisbane, James Lee, coached by James Boyce. The next athletes from Swim Rotorua, Ariel Macharahondo, coached by Aidan Withington. The next athletes on her second team naming tonight, Zoe Pedersen from Coast, coached by John Gatfield. The next athletes, also from Coast, Igor Razanov, coached by John Gatfield. The next athletes, Alyssa Tepper from St. Peter's and Griffith University, coached by Tommy Fraser Holmes. The last athlete for this team, Monique Wierzowski, North Shore, coached by Graham Hill. The head coach for the World Aquatics Junior Champs, John Gatfield from Coast Swimming Club. His assistant coach, Aidan Withington, Swim Rotorua. And their manager, Amanda White.
We move now to our next team, our senior development team to represent New Zealand at the World Aquatics World Cup Series later this year in the USA and Canada. We very much want to recognise and congratulate this group. It is a significant step between our age group and senior programs. We would like to recognise Harry Clowens, Club 37, coached by Mitch Noun. We would also like to recognise Georgina McCarthy, Hamilton Aquatics, coached by Matt Wolf. We would also like to acknowledge our members who have already been recognised tonight, Amber George from Coast, Finn Harland also from Coast, Savannah Eve Martin, Coast, Zoe Pedersen from Coast, and Milana Tapper, who will also be eligible to attend this meet. Their head coach will be our National Olympic head coach, Graham Hill. And a special mention to Coast Milan Glintmeyer, who has met the qualifying standard but is too young to attend the series.
The next team announcement is for the 2025 World Virtus Swimming Championships. These are being named tonight, recognizing our top S14, S18 and S19 swimmers. The Virtus event is the global pathway link for them, where they will race as different qualifications. This event is the second highest level they can compete in behind the Virtus Global Games. It is with great pride we can celebrate this team, which has grown and developed a lot since the 2023 Global Games in France. This group marks considerable growth from where the first Virtus Pathway team in 2019, which was made up of only 3 swimmers. To qualify, these swimmers all met event qualifying times, but also had to be ranked within the top 12 Kiwi swimmers across the eligible classifications. This initiative was to drive higher performances as this space continues to grow within New Zealand. Selectors for this team were Glenn Finlay of the Nelson South Swim Club, who has been part of the past 2 NZ Virtus swim teams. The other selector was Bridget Mann of North Canterbury Swim Club. Representing New Zealand, we will have David Beck, Club 37, coached by Mitch Nairn. Jack Bugler from Blenheim Swim Club, coached by Shane Shikan. Unfortunately, Jack has broken his wrist. Joseph Blake, Hamilton Aquatics, coached by Ali Fitch. Bailey Conlon, Swim Rotorua, coached by Aidan Withington. Lance Dusto, Central Hawke's Bay Swimming, coached by Alonso Fernandez Rodriguez. James Hayden of Club 37, coached by Mitch Nairn. He is unable to be here tonight. Tate Pichon, Club 37, coached by Mitch Nairn. Finn Russ from the Selwyn Swim Club, coached by Ben Close. And making their debut at the international level, Ian Chen from St. Paul Swimming Club, coached by Graham Smith. Chloe Gladwin from the Whakatane Swimming Club, coached by Mason Pickering. Quinn Pike of Hamilton Aquatics, coached by Ali Fitch. And lastly, Joel Watkins from the Pukekohe Swimming Club, coached by Sheldon Kemp. Great to be able to name all these athletes here tonight. The New Zealand Tri-Series teams will be announced at a further date. And that brings an end to our national championships. Great to see all our New Zealand athletes that will be representing us across the pool here. My name is Stephen Ken. Thank you for your help this week. Matt Hutchins, as we close up the 2025 Apollo Projects New Zealand Swimming Championships. Thank you for joining us on the live stream. Thanks to all our supporters for being here this week. Thanks to our officials. And thank you to the athletes, coaches, team managers who have swum and competed amazingly. We will see you at the next event, the New Zealand Secondary School Championships, from the 24th to the 27th of July. To our national team members, all the best as you take on the world.